What's up, cadre? Shaving with a soap that I can only use a few times. It's a Mason Boutique Evelyn. I happen to got some samples just kind of kicking around here and there, and noticed a couple of these on the desk downstairs. And I grabbed it. We're using it. Look at how thick this. It looks like it would hold a ton of soap. No, they pulled the old, the Strop Shop does this. Like the bottom of the thing is like way up here. I don't know. I mean, I don't, curious what the purpose of that is. I mean, it makes it look bigger, but I mean, if you're buying a sample, are you really buying it based on how much you get, or just you want to try the soap? And these containers have to cost more than a smaller container, right? Anywho, using that one. I was going to talk today about how you cut your cigar, but I'll explain why the topic is much larger now. Because it's kind of funny. I always just did the straight cut at the end of the cigar. That's how I started. That seems like the basic one, where it's either right. And I even have a cool cutter given to me by Nurse Day Shaving World biggest fan, KJ, Spider on the cadre, that has like a backstop. So you don't even need to like figure out, make sure you're not cutting too much. You just shove it up against the backstop. I always, ever since I got that, that's the cutter I've been using. But then every now and again I mess like with a V cut that cuts, like a V shape, a little wedge out of the end. More recently, the lighter I have has a punch cut. It's got a little circle, sharpened circle. You don't push it, that would crack it, but you gently kind of work it in. It kind of takes a plug out. And I just kind of always, I don't know, since that's what I started with, the straight cut and stuff, I kind of always did that and go back to that one. But then when I use the other, especially the punch cut is kind of new to me. I don't think I had done that before this year. And I find with either the punch or the V cut, you get less little pieces of tobacco on your tongue. This is no big deal, but just, enhances the overall experience if you don't have that. Like today, my cigar pretty much burst, it cracked and down at the end when I cut it. And I was like, gee, how come I don't remember that there's a reason that after the cut for the rest of the smoke that I actually enjoy the other two cuts better. I just forget that. And then I come down to do my shave. So I was going to talk about, in more detail, cutting cigars and such. And then I opened up my my drawer of razors, as one might have. And I'm looking what to use today. And then I happen upon this one. This is, I believe, the Future. When it came out, there's a whole bunch of knockoffs called the Q Shave, which was a fraction of the price. And I'm like, I had a Q Shave. I don't use it anymore. This is an adjustable one. You see the numbers there. You can make it. It just moves the top up, so you get more or less of a gap. Boy, this one sings though. You can probably hear that, huh? Oh, look at two little weepies. And I was like, huh. I know that I bought this one. I bought a shaving lot. And I'm sure that I used it shortly after arrival, and I must not have enjoyed it because I don't recall really using it afterwards. But then I was like, that's, with kind of a memory lapses, not only is it negative because of like the whole whole cigar thing that I mentioned. But in some ways it can be positive because there's this, like, you can re-experience things, maybe not for the first time, but kind of like that. So here I am shaving with this one, getting the experience again that I couldn't recall what it was. And then that translates to the other big one I had a couple weeks ago is, if you follow me on the Cadre, you know I'm a big Scotch guy, and we had a little bit of, what do you call it, acquisition disorder for a few years when I got into Scotch. So Scotch is stored in several places. Right now I'm working on paring down the Scotch collection, warehouse or whatever, to where I got like a open air two shelf kind of thing that I keep the good stuff kind of out on display. The ones that have like the cardboard tubes and stuff like that, for sure, so that, because it's right by a window, right? You don't want light heating that stuff up and all that. And then you got the overhead refrigerator space, which goes pretty far back deep. And then we have the backup storage. I'm like, okay, this can be a bit nuts, trying to cut down on expenses. So I'm going to try not to buy much Scotch until we get it pared down to, I'm down to 2 places. I don't use up enough that we don't have much or any in the backup area, right? If you got 3 or 4 bottles of one thing, it doesn't make sense to have it all out and accessible, but I think you get what I'm saying. But because the storage above the refrigerator goes way back to the wall, you know, you can really only see back halfway, maybe 2/3 at the most. You know, when you've got a variety of stuff and you're drinking whatever, and after many months you're jonesing for something different, I got out the step stool and I looked and I started pulling stuff from the back. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't know I had this. Well, I forgot I had this, forgot I had that. Oh, I haven't had this for a while. So I felt like I was like shopping the aisles at Total Wine for free, right there above my fridge. So that was pretty cool, just, you know, forgetting what's there and experiencing it all over again. And then movies, you know, my complaint about current day, you know, just kind of like also like music and all stuff, it ain't the same. The heyday, I think, of the action flick is gone. I'm not into any sci-fi-ish stuff really at all. So like all the Transformers stuff, all the really pretty much the Marvel stuff, other than Iron Man, because he's cool. I guess I do need to watch something like Wolverine. He's awesome. Like the originals, from what I know, when they have them all together, then they're like fighting these, you know, weird creatures and stuff. It's not just like, hey, you know, like James Bond, like the crazy evil person who, you know, anyway, once we get extraterrestrial, I'm not into it. You know, I want my action more realistic, like Die Hard, right? Or submarine stuff. Boy, the submarine movies came out there hot and heavy for a while. They haven't been out in a while. But anyway, I can be, you know, looking through Netflix or downloading stuff to watch on an airplane, or just, you know, whatever they have on a plane you can pick from, and be like, whoa, that sounds really cool. I'm surprised I haven't seen that. And like an hour into it, I'm like, oh wait, I've seen this. But it doesn't matter. I forgot, and I get to experience it all over again. Instead of, you know, having no new action flick. So that's what I was thinking of when I opened the drawer and I saw this razor, and it just got me thinking about the funnier and kind of bonus aspect of forgetting stuff. So yeah, had a couple weepers here. I think there was one there. This was set on less than 1. I can't tell you what it's. I think I might have turned it up to 2. I think, You can see what is that set at there. Is that the mark? Holy moly. I think we're set on 2. So I thought, well, that doesn't seem too aggressive. I think this is a pretty aggressive razor that I'd have to use on 1. It wasn't bad otherwise. I mean, when you're a professional, you're going to get a great shave kind of no matter what. It's just the enjoyment of the experience, and I have to say, because of that, you know, a little bit of maybe too closeness in the knuckle area. That's why it goes in the back, and I forget what I thought about it, and then in a year I'll pull it out again. We'll experience it all over again. There we go. What else? My daughter, she graduated high school this year, and she's the ultimate procrastinator. So we're working on, she's going to move just about 45 minutes south of here for college. So we're working on trying to get her to clean up the messiest room in the world prior to anywhere close to the end of the summer. So it's not a battle like right before she leaves. And so it's a battle now. So I finally got her to accept me helping her, which is she, you know, no, I don't want you touching my stuff. So that's the plan for today. Cleaning the room. But before that, whoop-pa! This moment of pause brought to you by Hombre's Barbershop. The sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. You know, we're getting to it's the summer months now. And word has it, it's constantly over 100 degrees. And it's fun. Barber Dave, he tries really hard to, in the cooler winter months, both of them, he tries to make it sound like, oh, it's only over 100 degrees for, you know, this much of the year, and the rest of the year is beautiful. He spends 9 months bitching about how hot it is there. I think he forgets how long it's that hot. Anyway, so we get back to, again, the summertime. I question how sweet smelling it is in there. You have a bunch of sweaty folks and all that, but whatever. We got the tagline. We got to roll with it. What we do? So we did the. I used my old. Speaking of, I got some soap on there. Speaking of KJ, I got this brush from him. I think we did some kind of a swap or something. I just was in the mood for, forget what I sent him, and I think I don't remember, but I didn't even know this was a Maggard's brush until he pointed out. I said, what company is that? Look at the bottom, that's Maggard's symbol. Anyway, I really, but until I got this one, I didn't like the look of these with the longer handle, but it's super comfortable, works really well. I think this is the only one specifically this shape I have where it's, you know, kind of flat and then bulbous. I have like bulbous stuff like this, like, right, they're all pretty much the same height, but this, you know, it's all curvy the whole way. I think all my brushes are, for the most part, curvy all over the place. Anyway, oh yeah, and then shout out to Canada. Canada Day is Monday, which it's fine. I guess, again, I'm sure I've heard about Canada Day. Never really, I don't know if I looked it up or not. I could have, I forgot. Look, I'm talking long enough where we'll be able to calc it up. Look at this. This is where the excess lather storage goes, but it also is a good talc collector. But I looked it up, and from what I understood, with the brief summary I read, is that in the 1800s, late 1800s, it sounded like there's maybe like 3 big providences or something like that, and they all kind of decided to join together and reaffirm their alliance with Britain, which seemed kind of strange because, like, the century before, the United States was kind of like, forget you, Britain, we're our own thing. And then here's like this whole group of people right above us that are like, oh yeah, we're still part of these people way across the ocean. And I actually have no clue what that means, what their relationship is, other than they gotta speak French or whatever. Here you go. Yardley Equity is the talc that we're, look at that size of that tin. That's a beefy one, huh? This one smells like it's a little bit more manly. This certainly, I would, well, people can use whatever they want. I would say it's not a female scent. It's not unisexual. How come it's not? How come you don't call it bisexual? If it's for men and women, isn't that both and that's bi? Anyway, it smells like a Sauvage, right? Or the Dior, is it Dior? Yeah, Dior Sauvage. Well, we go ahead and hey, we got it out. Gonna use this baby. Now it's funny. I go lopsided. I go out scented lopsided usually, because yeah, the rule is you're not supposed to smash to spread. You're not supposed to smash to spread. Oh, B-Dave. I just realized. So I do back. I do here, and I do one arm because this is my squirty finger. So I can't get this arm. So I go out lopsided. This is all scented, and this is scented, but not this arm. So sometimes I'll do an extra little like wet spot there and do like this just to even it out a little bit. But let me point this out, Dave, because he's the one that likes to point out you're not supposed to do this. He squirts in his fingers, and then he does this, and he does this, and he does. You're rubbing. You're not supposed to do that, is what you say. But because it's your fingers, it's magic, and it's okay. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, that's the shave for today. I'll see you in the morning.